My name is Gardin, and I'm the Executive Director of the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation, which is a nonprofit registered here in the state of Georgia, and we're a statewide agency. And our mission is to partner with the fire service and burn care communities to provide safety and prevention education, support to the burn centers, and provide assistance to burn survivors in their recovery. That's our mission. And we're a statewide agency, as I've said, and we consist of a staff of 8 people, covering the entire state of Georgia, which really keeps us pretty busy. And we have a laundry list of programs and services that we provide. And our flagship program is the Children's Burn Camp. That's called Camp Uyula, which means cool running water. That's what we tell the kids anyway.
Yeah.
And we get about 100 kids to come out to a 7-day camp. And we get about 125, 130 volunteers, most of which consist of firefighters who take their own time to come out and volunteer to help make the program happen. And we provide a camping experience for kids who had the challenge of being a burn survivor. So it's a camping experience, but we like to say that it's fun with a purpose.
Right.
And that's bringing kids together with other kids who share similar experiences so that they can create a support network and give them opportunity to talk about some of the challenges that they've had and draw strength from one another. So that's, without question, one of our flagship programs. And that's probably the program that's the most near and dear to my heart, because myself, I'm a burn survivor, and I was burned as a child. And there were no programs like the ones that the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation offers. So it really means a lot to me to be in a position to help be involved with an organization like this, because the reality is people will always get burned. But through our safety and prevention education programs, hopefully those numbers won't be so high. And when people do experience something like this, not just for the burn survivor, but for the entire family, because it really does devastate the entire family, we like to know that we're here to provide some assistance to help them along that journey, going from victim to survivor, because it is a really devastating tragedy. And it's also an honor for us, and for me in particular, to be able to work with the fire service, to be able to work with firefighters, those guys who had a direct impact in my life.
Yeah.
And it gives me a chance to tell them thank you and to help them do what they do. Because I never thank those firefighters who came into the burning house and rescued me, as you did. But through this agency and through our program and services, I can say thank you every day to those guys I interact with today. And I'm vicariously thanking those firefighters from 40 years ago that provided the service to me. And I think being a nonprofit, we're really dependent on the generous donations and contributions of individuals out in the community. But I think the best statement a person can say, thank you, is to do something to give back.
Right.
So being the executive director of the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation, I'm giving an opportunity to say thank you every day, and I appreciate it.
Great. Dennis, in addition to donations, are there other opportunities in terms of volunteering to make a difference?
Oh, there are a tremendous amount of opportunities to volunteer. As I said, we're a statewide agency with a staff of 9 trying to cover a large geographical area, and there are, as I said, the burn camp, we have about 120, 25, 30 volunteers come out. Some of our safety and prevention programs where we go out to shopping malls and schools to get this message out. We're always looking for volunteers to come in and assist. Here today, we have one of our volunteers who is a burn survivor as well, and he goes out often with us to volunteer and to be a spokesperson, if you will, to really not only talk about how the Burn Foundation assisted him,
right,
but talk about how important it is for him to give back, and how important it is for people to take advantage of those opportunities to give back. And the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation, I think, is a great way to give back.
In regards to burn survivors, is there 1 or 2 things that people may be surprised of in terms of the process and support that people may not know about?
I think when you talk about people getting injured in a fire, the general public tends to think about a family lost their home, has been displaced, or the fire truck with the lights, and even people who get injured and how painful that must be being in the hospital. But there's a whole nother piece, that goes to that, and that's the piece of how does one reintegrate back into society with a different physical appearance. Because in reality, we do live in a society that doesn't embrace people that look different. And there are hundreds of thousands of people that get burned every year.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of people that look like me in public. You know, and you have to ask yourself, if you stop to think about it, where are those people?
Right.
You know, they are out there, just an invisible population. And I think having a visible burn, visible scars as a result of a burn, and being able to work through the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation, it's heightening a sense of awareness through public awareness, because I think the more people understand, the more sensitive they are, and the more understanding they are, and the more embracing they can be.
And Dennis, how can people find you and learn more about the foundation?
Well, we're located here in the state of Georgia, in Atlanta, our headquarters. But they can reach us via website, which is www.gfbf.org. That's Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation.org. Again, that's www.gfbf.org, and our phone number is 44320-6223.
Great. Well, Dennis, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for all that you do.
Well, it is such a privilege and an honor for us to be involved with the Hope Bus Tour, because I think this is a wonderful thing, and we feel so honored and privileged that we can be a part of this.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, sir.